Next topic, let us talk about endorsements. Before talking about the types of endorsement, let us first discuss what is the definition of endorsement. Let us begin. Endorsements play a critical role in the transferability and negotiability of financial instruments. Financial instruments like bills of exchange, checks, and promissory notes. That means this is a document that plays a significant role in transferability and negotiability of bills of exchange, checks, and promissory note. So, they are the statements written on the back of these instruments that signify transfer of rights or transfer of ownership from one party to another. Endorsement take various forms, each with specific implication for the parties involved. Here, let us talk about the types of endorsements. The very first endorsement is blank endorsement. A blank endorsement is the simplest form of endorsement. That means it is the most basic and most simple form of any kind of endorsement. Blank endorsement consists of the endorser's sign only. That means that the person who is known as the endorser signs at the back of the negotiable instrument without specifying the endorser. That means to whomsoever he is going to endorse this document, there is nothing specific mentioned about him or her. That means this blank endorsement contains only the signature of the endorser and nothing related to the endorser. That means there are no details mentioned about the endorsee in the blank endorsements. This type of endorsement converts the instrument into a varied instrument. That means it can be transferred by mere delivery and is payable to anyone in possession of it. It is payable to anyone in possession of it means that there are no specific details mentioned about any kind of endorsee. So, whosoever is gonna present it, he is gonna have the rights of the endorsement or the negotiable instrument. So, blank endorsement is kind of insecurity. It possesses kind of insecurity. That means it can be encashed by anyone, not only by the one who it can be endorsed to anybody without mentioning the specific kind of name. It can be presented by whomsoever is having its possession because there is no name mentioned in it on it. Let us talk about the features of blank endorsement. First, no specification of the endorsee. That means there aren't any sort of details which are available about the endorsee. Instruments become a varied instrument. Second is instrument becomes a varied instrument. And third is it is transferable by mere delivery. Let us understand this with an example. If John Doe has a check payable to him and he simply signs at the back without naming anyone, the check becomes payable to whoever holds it. That means there aren't anybody specifically mentioned on the instrument, so it can be encashed by anybody who is having its possession. So, endorsements are very important documents because it provides transferability and negotiability of financial instruments like bills of exchange, checks, and promissory note. We have talked about that instrument, which is the simplest form of instrument. It only contains the signature of the endorser. It does not contain any details about the endorsee. So, the one who has the possession of the financial instrument like bills of exchange, promissory note, or check has the sole right to get it encashed. Clear? Now, moving on further, let us talk about the next endorsement. It is special endorsement. It is special as the name says. Special endorsement specifies the person to whom the instrument is being endorsed. That means the slight difference between blank endorsement and special endorsement is that special endorsement consists of the name of the endorsee or to whomsoever the document is being endorsed. It includes the signature of the endorser and the name of the endorser. Now, for instance, if I am going to endorse a check, I will be signing it. I will be signing on back or at the back of the check, and I will be mentioning it to whomsoever I am going to endorse it. So I am the endorser, and the one whose name I am mentioning is the endorser. Unlike a blank instrument, this type of endorsement does not convert the instrument into a bearer instrument. That means it cannot be encashed by anybody or just by the mere possession. It requires the specified endorsee's endorsement for further transfer. That means to whomsoever I am going to endorse, if that person also wants to endorse it to other, he too needs to sign at the back of the instrument and mention the name of the other endorsee. So, a blank instrument does not contain any details of the endorsee, but a special endorsement contains the details of the endorsee or to whom the document is being endorsed. Let us talk about the features of special endorsement. It specifies the endorsee. The instrument remains an order instrument. That means it must contain the name of the person to whom we are going to endorse it. Third, it requires the endorsee's endorsement for further transfer. That means if the endorsee wants to transfer it further, he or she also needs to specify the details of the other endorsee. Let us understand this with an example. John endorses a check to Jane by writing pay to Jane and signing it. Means it has become a special endorsement because John has mentioned Jane's name in it. That means only Jane has the right to get it endorsed. I hope blank instrument and special instruments are clear. Blank instrument does not contain any details of the endorsee, while special endorsement contains details of the endorsee like its name. And if the endorsee wants to endorse it one more time, he or she too has to mention the details of the second endorsee. Moving on further, let us talk about the third type of endorsement. It is the restrictive endorsement. A restrictive endorsement limits the use of the instrument in some way. It may include instruments such as for deposit only, pay to, that is specific amount only. This type of endorsement restricts the instrument's negotiability and ensures that it can only be used as specified by the endorser. That means this endorsement is restricted only up to the use which is specified by the endorser. That means it may include some instructions like for deposit only or pay to this a specific amount to somebody, and this restricts its negotiability and ensures that it can be only used as specified by the endorser. Let us talk about the features of restricted endorsement. First, it restricts the use or further transfer of the instrument. That means when we want to endorse it further or transfer it further, there is some sort of restriction. Second, it includes specific instructions or conditions. It can only be restricted if it includes some sort of instructions or conditions. So, negotiable instruments which have restricted endorsement may contain some specific instructions or conditions so that they get restricted. Then the third feature is it is commonly used for deposits. Let us understand this with an example again. John writes for deposit only to account number 12345677. That means the endorsement can only be used for deposit into the account number 12345677. And he or she, John, is going to sign at the back of the check as well. This restricts the check to be deposited only into the specified account. That means this check or the negotiable instrument cannot be deposited to any other account except 12345678 as mentioned by John. So I hope Three types of endorsements are clear. That is blank endorsement that does not contain any kind of details about the endorsee. A special endorsement that contains the details of the endorsee, and the endorsee, if wants to further endorse it, also has to specify the details of the second endorsee. Then restricted endorsement that contains some conditions or orders or instructions that restricts its negotiation. I hope these are clear. Moving on further, the fourth kind of endorsement is conditional endorsement. A conditional endorsement specifies a condition that must be met before the instrument can be further negotiated or paid. That means there are some sort of conditions that are needed to be fulfilled before it is further negotiated or paid. The payment or transfer of instrument is contingent upon the fulfillment of the stated condition. Means the payment or transfer of instrument can only be done after the fulfillment of that condition. That means if any kind of condition is specified in the endorsement, that condition needs to be fulfilled before its further transferability, or if it is needed to be encashed. Let us talk about the features of conditional endorsement. First, it specifies the condition for payment or transfer. That means before the payment or transfer of the endorsement, the condition needs to be fulfilled. Second, it adds an element of contingency to the instrument. Let us understand this with an example. John writes, pay to Jane upon her completion of the project. That means Jane will only be able to get the amount after the completion of the project. And John signs at the back of the negotiable instrument. Jane can only claim the funds once the condition, that is project completion, is fulfilled. If Jane is unable to fulfill the condition mentioned in the negotiable instrument by the endorser or by John, she will not be able to get the amount. So we have talked about four kind of endorsements till now. That is blank endorsement, which does not contain the details of the endorsee. Then next is special endorsement that contains the details of the endorsee, and also if the endorsee wants to further endorse it, he or she needs to mention the details of the second endorsee. The next is restricted endorsement. This restricted endorsement contains some sort of conditions or instructions before it's transferred. Then next is conditional endorsement. Conditional endorsement also needs to have a specific condition, but the condition needs to be fulfilled before the fulfillment of the negotiable instrument. Moving on further, let us talk about another kind of endorsement. And that another kind of endorsement is known as blank endorsement or full endorsement. We'll talk about both of these, blank and full. An endorsement in blank is also known as a blank endorsement. Blank endorsement is the act of signing the back of negotiable instrument like checks, bills of exchange or promissory note without designating a specific endorsement. It is same as the blank endorsement. That means no specific details about the endorsee is mentioned. This type of endorsement converts the endorsement instrument into a burial instrument. That means it can be payable to anybody who is having its possession. That means it is payable to anybody who is its bearer. That means it can be transferred only by the mere delivery without the need of further endorsement. Key features of endorsement in blank. First, no specific endorser. That means the endorser does not specify to whom the instrument is being endorsed. And the instrument can be transferred to anyone who holds it. Second, it becomes a bearer instrument. That means the instrument becomes payable to whoever holds it, making it easier to transfer without any additional endorsement. Third is transferability. This instrument can be transferred by mere delivery. No additional signature are needed for further transfers. Then risk. While convenient, blank endorsements carry a higher risk of loss or theft, as anyone in possession of the instruments can claim the payment. So, the four features were no specific endorsing, that means there are no details about the endorsee available. Then the bearer instrument, that means whosoever is having its possession, it will be encashed to the one. Then transferability, the instrument can be transferred by delivery. No additional signatures are needed for further transfers. Next is risk. That means it contains a lot of risk as it can be encashed by anybody who is having its possession. Let us understand this with an example again. Like if we say that John is having a check payable to him and he signs at the back of the check without specifying the name of an endorsee. That means he has just signed it. That means he is endorsing the check to somebody who is unknown. That means anyone who is holding the possession of the check has the sole right to get the payment. Now, the next is endorsement in full. Endorsement in full is also understood by you earlier. That is, it is the special endorsement which we have already talked about. Endorsement in full is also known as special endorsement. It involves signing at the back of the negotiable instrument like check, bill of exchange, or promissory note. We sign it at the back and mention the details of the endorsee. That means the name of a specific endorsee is mentioned at the back of the negotiable instrument, and it will only be endorsed and encashed by the one whose name is mentioned at the back. This type of endorsement maintains the instrument status as the instrument and requires a specific name or the specified endorsee's endorsement for further transfer. That means if the endorsee wants to further endorse it, he or she needs to specify the details of this further endorsement. Let us discuss the key features of the endorsement in full or special endorsement. First is specific endorsee. That means the endorser specifies to whom the instrument is being endorsed. Then, second is order instrument. The instrument remains payable to a specific person or entity mentioning its order status. Next is transferability. The instrument can only be transferred to another party through further endorsement by specific endorsement. Next is security. Endorsement in full provides greater security as compared to blank endorsements, as the instrument is not payable to the bearer but to a designated individual or entity. And full endorsement with an example. John has a check payable to him and he endorses it to Jane by writing pay to Jane and then signing it. This endorsement specifies that Jane is the new holder and only she can further endorse or present the check for payment. Let us study the detailed comparison of the blank instrument, the blank endorsement and special endorsement. First is security. Blank endorsement is less secure as anyone in possession can claim payment. Full endorsement is more secure. Only the specified endorsee can claim payment. Next is transferability. Blank endorsement is easily transferable by mere delivery. But full endorsement transfer of full endorsement requires further endorsement by the named endorsee. Then use cases. Blank endorsement is often used in situations where ease of transfer is needed, such as it is used in informal transactions or transactions that are needed to be fulfilled very quickly. Then full endorsement is preferred in more formal settings where the security and traceability of the instruments are very important. Risk. Blank endorsement is at higher risk of loss or theft since the instrument is payable to the bearer, while full endorsement is at lower risk of misuse as the instrument is only payable to the specified endorsee. Then legal recognition. Blank full endorsements both are recognized under commercial laws such as Uniform Commercial Code, UCC in United States, and other international regulations. They provide the legal framework for the transferability and possibility of the instruments. Let us talk about the practical considerations of both blank and full endorsement. Blank endorsement is suitable for the transactions where quick transferability is required. Common in situations where instrument needs to change hands multiple times, such as secondary markets. While full endorsements are ideal for transactions where maintaining a clear chain of ownership is critical, used in business transactions to ensure that only the intended recipient can further endorse or cash the instrument. Moving on further, let us discuss about the partial endorsement. A partial endorsement is an endorsement of only a portion of the amount payable on the instrument. However, this type of endorsement is generally not recognized under the law, as it complicates the clear and simple transfer of the instrument. That means when a partial amount is payable or endorsed, this kind of endorsement is known as the partial endorsement. But this partial endorsement is not recognized under the law because of its several complications. Let us talk about its features. Endorses a part of the total amount. Second, it is generally not recognized in commercial practice or legal frameworks. Let us understand this with an example. John intends to endorse a check of rupees 1,000 by writing pay to Jane 500 rupees. This would typically not be acceptable under most legal systems governing the negotiable instruments. Moving on further, let us understand sans recourse endorsement. This is also known as without recourse endorsement. It limits the liability of the endorser. That means without recourse endorsement has a limited liability towards the endorser. By including the words without recourse in the endorsement, the endorser indicates that they do not assume any responsibility if the drawee, that is to whom the instrument is being drawn, fails to make the payment. That means the endorser indicates no responsibility if the drawee fails to make the payment. Let us discuss the key features of sans recourse endorsement. First is limited liability. The endorser is not liable for the payment of the instrument if the withdrawee defaults. Second, risk mitigation. It protects the endorser from potential financial losses if the instrument is not honored. Third is transferability. The instrument remains transferable and subsequent holders can still enforce payment against the drawee. Further, let us discuss about the facultative endorsement. It is the one where the endorser waives certain rights or privileges. This type of endorsement often includes specific instructions or conditions that limits the endorser's rights or enhance the rights of the endorser. That means in facultative endorsements, the endorsee has more rights than the endorser. Let us discuss the key features of the facultative endorsement. First is waiver of rights. The endorser voluntarily gives up certain rights, such as the right to receive notice of dismissal. Second, specific instructions. The endorsement may include special terms and conditions, which must be adhered to by the parties involved. Third is enhanced right for the endorsee. That means it can provide additional benefits to the endorsee, such as not requiring any kind of notice of dishonor or protest. Let us understand this with an example. John endorses a check to Jane with a notation, pay to Jane Smith, notice of dishonor waived, and signs it. This means that if the check is dishonored, John has waived his rights to be formally notified. Moving on further, let us discuss about the qualified endorsement. A qualified endorsement limits the liability of the endorser. It typically includes the phrase without recourse, indicating that the endorser does not take the responsibility for any subsequent non-payment of the instrument. Let us discuss the features of the qualified endorsement. First, it limits the endorser's liability. Second, it often includes the phrase without recourse. This kind of endorsement is similar to sans recourse, which we had already discussed. Third is useful in mitigating risk of the endorsement. So, a qualified endorsement means any liability is towards the endorser is reduced. It includes the phrase without recourse. That means the endorser does not have the responsibility for any subsequent non-payment of the instrument. Features were it limits the endorser's liability. It includes the phrase without recourse. And the third is it is useful in mitigating risk of the endorser. Let us discuss an example to understand this further. John Doe endorses a bill of exchange to Jane Smith with the words pay to Jane Smith without recourse. Signs it. If the drawer fails to pay, John Doe is not liable to Jane Smith. So these were the types of endorsement. Let us recall all the types of endorsement once again. First is blank endorsement. That means it does not have the details of the endorsee. Second is special endorsement. That means special endorsement has a specific person to whom the endorsement has the name of the specific person to whom the endorsement is being done. Third is restrictive endorsement. That means the use of the negotiable instrument is restricted. It may include some instructions or conditions like for deposit only or pay to so and so. Then next is conditional endorsement. It specifies the condition that must be met before the instrument can be further negotiated or paid. Next is endorsement is blank. Endorsement is in blank or blank endorsement is same. That means it does not contain the details of the endorsee. Then moving on further is endorsement in full. Endorsement in full is also known as special endorsement that contains the details of the endorsee to whom the instrument is going to be endorsed. Next is we had talked about the detailed comparison of blank instrument and full instrument. We had also talked about its legal and practical implications. Then the next was sanct resource endorsement. That is without recourse, it limits the liability of the endorser. Then we had discussed about the facultative endorsement in which the endorser waives certain rights and privileges. Then next is qualified endorsement, which is similar to sanct recourse endorsement. That means it restricts the liability of the endorser. So this was all about the endorsement and its type. I hope it is